we're live. Everyone good?
Yes, sir.
Test. Yo. Welcome to the K Podcast, guys. It's Joe Reezy. We got Proper over here, and we got a special guest making their return to the podcast. The guys from PullingThese. What's up, guys? Welcome back.
What up?
Welcome to the cave.
How's it been, man? What's been going on? Give us an update on you guys.
You know, we've been just doing our thing, trying to get more content out there, you know, more TikTok videos, more podcasts, consistent podcasts. Try to be, you know, out there more often. But, you know, we try to start the new year off right. Hence, coming on here, connecting with you guys again.
We saw Black Adam.
Yeah, that's it.
HBO Max, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
I paid to see it, so.
Hypothetically, someone probably saw it on bootleg before that. But
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
That's funny. Yeah, we made a lot of predictions the first time we had you guys on, and like we were talking before we got started, a few of those came true and a few of those didn't. Unfortunately, the ones we did want to come true didn't, and the ones we didn't want to come true ended up coming into fruition. But should we just start off with the DC universe? It's in shambles right now. There's a lot to unpack. You guys brought up Black Adam, which I don't even know if it exists anymore in the whole scope of things.
I think so. I think after the Flash comes out, it's gonna be like clean swipe and then starting over.
Yeah, luckily for that, right? And I mean, it's kind of funny because they had put together this campaign to try to, you know, clean up Ezra Miller's image. He put out this apology, but I mean, we all knew that shit was kind of just a PR move, right? And James Gunn came in and was like, yeah, we don't need him. We're just gonna get rid of him after this movie.
Even though there's a rumor right now that Variety reported that the DCU were considering keeping him as the Flash, but I'm like, nah, that has to be like straight BS because there's no way they get rid of Henry Cavill, but you keep Ezra Miller on. I'm like, it's like you guys want to fail for some reason, like right, like
right. And we had spoke about The Rock being on the DC team now, and kind of giving him the credit of getting Henry Cavill into the DC universe to reprise that role as Superman. And I heard that he kind of wanted to have his hand as the creative, I don't know if director, but he wanted to have his hand in the creative section of DC. But I think him and James Gunn had butt heads in where the direction was going to go. You guys know about that or heard about that?
Yeah, I think there was a report that came out actually before James Gunn came on that The Rock went above certain people's heads at the time, like the people that are actually in charge of running the DC side of Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So when Discovery brought them out, he went to the head guy of Discovery, David Zagoff, whatever. Like, I'm probably butchering his last name.
Jack off.
That's how some people feel.
Yeah, I myself included. So.
So apparently, The Rock went directly to the CEO, and that's like a big no-no, like in the industry. You know what I mean? You really just don't try to do that unless you're really trying to have your hand into the production side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So that rubbed a lot of people in the wrong way. And like, you know, I love The Rock. He's, like I said before last time, he's my favorite wrestler of all time.
My favorite wrestler.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
Know your role, you know, like all that.
Shut your damn mouth. That's probably what he did in that office. Like,
that's
shut your damn mouth.
He came with that energy to the DC offices, and like,
you rock bottom Walter Hamada.
Fuck out. He's like, you know James Gunn? It doesn't matter if you know James Gunn.
My man, he just went full Rocky mode, bro. And I'm like, yo, you can't do that in the industry. You can't rock bottom somebody that has the okay to like greenlight your project that you want to do, especially if you want to do something big like a Black Adam versus Superman movie. But nobody's really asking for that. And like nobody really asked for a Black Adam movie, but we got one anyway.
Right.
And look how that turned out. So yeah, The Rock, I don't know, man. I think he played his hand a little too hard on this one, man. I don't know.
And I think it's biting him in the ass now.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Now, like, what's gonna happen? At least he came out and was like, "Fuck, it's not gonna happen anymore." You know?
Yeah.
I was actually surprised he tweeted about. I thought he was gonna say something about their candy asses, like how he did Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
But no, he accepted it gracefully. I was surprised.
Yeah,
but maybe they had a talk, and James Gunn's like, no, we got you. Just wait, let us write it down. So maybe that's why he's cool with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, it's like, relax, we got something for you. But they had this man was out here with fake financial records. He was doing all this for like no reason. It was like not necessarily like you're The Rock. Just do your regular usual thing, but don't go so hard for this movie, Black Adam.
Yeah,
and I was like, the way it was hyped up, I was expecting more out of the movie. But it was like a movie. It had like that late 90s, early 2000 feel to it. Like you already know what's gonna happen. You already know the kid's gonna get kidnapped at one point in the film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and for him to be hyping it up like it was gonna be like this big thing, I was disappointed. And for people believing that this was gonna be like the first movie to really launch the DC universe, bring it back Henry Cavill and all this, like all that was for nothing. It's got people's hopes up now, and like they're just all disappointed because it's not happening.
Yeah. I felt like the whole movie was directed by fucking Michael Bay. Just watching the whole movie, I was like, "What the fuck? Everything's exploding." It was. I think the director, they were trying to wow us with the end, like the special effects, and I was just trying to follow. I was like, "Where are they going with this fucking movie?" The whole time, I was like, "Where are they going with this?" And like you said, it was predictable. Oh, this kid's gonna get kidnapped, and that guy's gonna turn into the bad guy, and The Rock is gonna save the day, because that's all I saw. It wasn't Black Adam; it was The Rock.
Yeah,
it was The Rock in a costume playing The Rock with superpowers. But like I said, it was entertaining. And after I watched the movie, after I let the entertainment kind of settle, and I thought for the movie, I was like, bro, Dr. Fate carried that fucking movie.
Yeah. No question.
Pierce Brosnan, man, he came with it, man. It was
great.
Like half of the Justice Society of America was good. The other half was like, do about these guys, like the Lovebirds or whatever they were trying to do over there with these characters. Even Dr. Fate, he was a great Dr. Fate, but they
killed him off. What the fuck?
That, and like Dr. Fate, like I hate to be that guy, but you can see, like, I love my comics. But once you're Dr. Fate, you don't have to. You can't take the helmet off like that. Like it's not you putting on the helmet. Like you're possessed by the spirit of Naboo.
Exactly.
In the helmet. So him taking the helmet off, acting like kind of like pretty much being a more Doctor Strange than Dr. Fate in this movie. That kind of bugged me because like Naboo had like ties to like Egypt, and like they could show that side of his character also, and like him dealing with Black Adam in the past or something cool like that would have been dope to watch. But
like for it all to come full circle, right?
Like
that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, you had like two characters actually that had connections to Egypt, and Hawkman and Dr. Fate.
Exactly.
And they didn't do nothing with that.
Yeah, and I liked Hawkman. I thought he was cool, and it was just weird how, I don't know, like he was this hothead and Dr. Fate had to keep him in check. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like Hawkman don't give a fuck about you. Like I would watch like the Justice League series a lot, and like how Hawkman just did whatever the fuck he wanted. It's like now all of a sudden Dr. Fate's telling him you need to calm down.
It was like a weird dynamic. It was but they're going for the stereotypical high head, like he has to learn his lesson throughout the movie, so he's just being hard headed and doing whatever he needs to do. So like I said, predictable stuff coming out there. Like the actors put their all into the roles, like they were entertaining characters, but they could have done more with those characters, I feel.
Yeah, I was actually surprised they decided to put the what are they, the Justice Society in it, because I thought it was weird that The Rock would pick Black Adam to make a movie. Like The Rock doesn't strike me as a comic head to be able to like, hey, let's do a Black Adam movie. Yeah, and let's really tell his story. I felt like he saw Shazam and he's like, hey, this guy, I could probably look like him. Let's make a movie about him and I'll be him.
You guys heard about his contracts?
He used this kind of like, his clout to be able to pull strings in the industry.
Definitely.
And I feel like that's the problem with someone who's not really versed in the source being the head of the franchise. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, Marvel at the time could not miss, but conspiracy. I don't know if Stan Lee not being present to be like a consultant of how the direction should go is a reason for that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I don't know. This is another talking point of ours. Disney series, the Plus series. Two words to sum it all up. It's all blue balls, man. Like it's all, you know what I mean? We wait for the next episode. We're all on Reddit looking up theories, and that's usually the best part of the show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's like more the theory making and like the discussions and all that stuff is actually more entertaining than most of the stuff that coming out of Disney Plus is. But.
Yeah, right.
You guys heard about his contract though, right? The Rock's contract, like his little details he had for the movies,
like he can't lose and stuff, right?
He can't. If there's a fight scene, he can't lose that fight scene.
Yeah,
and if he's fighting Superman, they have to throw the same amount of punches.
It doesn't matter if he's Superman.
I was like, whoa, man! Like, hey, I like how The Rock was like, trying to like grab Warner Brothers by the balls and say, hey, let's make something happen. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude. You grabbed everyone's balls and fucked with all of them.
Much, man.
He didn't care. He was fucking giving the people's elbows to everybody.
And he literally called it, this is the people's elbow and give it to all the people.
Yo, and it's crazy too, because then I find out his wife is like Henry Cavill's agent also. So there's like that whole connection.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why they're taking pictures. Like I used to see him taking pictures like him drinking The Rock's tequila, which he wanted to push into the Black Adam film. I think he wanted like a shot of his tequila in the film for a PG-13 film. It was hilarious.
That's funny.
So yeah, this dude, like The Rock he's trying to do too much, man. He's like too much. He should have known his role.
I guess I can see why. I guess I can see why Vin Diesel wasn't having it in the Fast and Furious.
Like that. This actually makes Vin Diesel look so good right now.
Yeah, because the whole time I was like, Vin Diesel being a pussy, and now I was like, nah, I think The Rock was being a little bitch.
Vin Diesel like, at least I get to finish my trilogy right now, and I only say 3 words.
Yeah.
Damn right. That guy's.
Hey, how much does he get paid to just do that? Just those 3 words.
Dude, shout out to his agent for that, bro.
Yeah.
You know that guy. That's a good fact to look up.
Bro.
Hey, Cyril, can you turn your camera landscape? This is Cyril, guys. He ended up joining with us.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
And I'll look that up right now. How much that fool gets paid to
But
make
you know
it.
what's funny about The Rock and being Black Adam? He was supposed to be Shazam.
Yeah,
he was cast as Shazam, and back like in 2008, whatever it was.
Yeah,
but then he went to a Comic-Con panel for like Get Smart that he did with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he told the crowd, was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in this movie Shazam, and like they were like, who should I play? Like he was trying to get like a reaction. Like he's very like fan friendly. I'll give that to him. So he's asking like the people which character they want to see him as, and the majority was saying Black Adam. But that's like, they seen Rock the heel, and they're like, all right, he looks like Black Adam a little. He should be Black Adam. Like he's dressed in black and he looks badass, whatever. But I think that was a mistake because he would have been a perfect Shazam because he's very good at comedy. Like, what's that movie that Ernie likes?
Central Intelligence. Central
Intelligence.
Even Jumanji is pretty funny.
He's hilarious in that shit. But like for him to that, I think would have been more successful for the type of thing he was trying to do, the sort of franchise. The Shazam franchise would have done like $1 billion if he just would have been Shazam from the get.
Yeah, I see that.
If they had
another joke I said about this situation and this fallout is I bet Henry Cavill is hitting up the people in Witcher like, hey, You guys start yet, or can I come back? Was good.
Nah, but he low-key wasn't feeling The Witcher anymore. I remember he was kind of like complaining about how the story was, and because he plays video games like one of us. Really, he's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And I remember reading somehow he actually didn't like the direction it was going already. Like, so he was pretty open about that. So I don't think he's coming back to it. And I've watched the show; it's fucking whack. So
Yeah.
Plus, he got that. What's that new show he's doing?
Warhammer.
Yeah. That's a huge. That could be a huge franchise if it actually goes well. So it's actually a pretty good move for him.
Has a big following.
Yeah, he's a fan too.
Yeah, he's a fan too. Yeah. I feel bad though because Henry Cavill, dude, he was like he said, he's kind of one of us. Builds computers, plays games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sucks for an actual person that wants to play a character not being able to play that character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man.
And he did it well, in my opinion. I thought.
Yeah. We spoke. Well. We said that he was one of the actors that actually really brought that character to life, like how Hugh Jackman brought Wolverine. I felt like Henry Cavill was a good portrayal of Superman. It's going to be hard to top that.
Yeah. I mean, he was given like the good material. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it was a script. That was
that was a good.
That's true too.
I'm not gonna lie, Zack Snyder is overrated. Overrated.
Way overrated.
Stop with the slow motion scene a little, but I think he's still good. You know what I mean?
No, I think his universe that he tried to create wasn't very cohesive. It's just like, what the fuck is going on here? He threw everyone like we got Batman versus Superman before Man of Steel 2.
Yeah,
it didn't make sense to me. It's like, and then all of a sudden, Batman's this old guy, and I'm not gonna lie, I like Ben Affleck as Batman if he had a better writer because he actually fit that. He actually looked like the animated series Bruce Wayne to me. So I thought that was cool.
Like an older one.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought that was cool. So that's why I was excited to see him play the role. And I remember back then I was willing to give him a chance because I remember back then when they casted Heath Ledger, I was like, what the fuck? Heath Ledger.
He just did Brokeback Mountain. It was like, how are you gonna do Joker?
10 things I hate about you.
Exactly. I was like, I love The Knight's Tale, but I don't know.
Knight's Tale, 10 things I hate about you. I'm cool with all those.
Yeah. And then, so I learned to not judge it. And then, I gave Ben Affleck a chance. I loved Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I thought that was cool. He didn't seem like a old butler anymore. So he was very
actually Pennyworth.
Yeah, and he could he would help him out actually and like control the ship, which I thought was a cool scene in the best scene in the whole movie was when he broke into that warehouse and beat up everyone's ass. That was the best scene in the movie. That's it. Yeah. But like I said, I tried to give him a chance, but Zack Snyder, I don't know where he came up with these stories. He's just like, all right, we're gonna make him just fight in a second.
but you read the entire plot line that he released, his entire vision. Did you read that yet?
Yeah.
So what did you think about that? I thought I was actually excited to see that after reading everything that was gonna happen. I was like, that's actually not too bad. I get what you mean that it was like really random, like Flash showing up, so no one's really gonna understand that unless you read this, what he put out. But I think it was. I would have been pretty excited to see all that.
Like the thing with his stuff was that he just wanted to rush everything. Like his storyline. His storyline could have worked if he just would have been like,
slower,
like the Rock situation, approach. Like step back, let stuff come out naturally, and take it easy. You don't have to be rushing it to get like this big. You're trying to do Infinity War, you're trying to do Endgame, and it's not even 5 years yet. You know what I mean?
Avengers hasn't came out yet.
So what's going to make us care about these characters and these situations they're in?
I agree with that.
One big thing I think is with that mindset of like trying to make Endgame, trying to make Avengers, it was like I think they were using the length of time in the movies. So they're like, oh, it's a 3-hour movie, so it's like Endgame. You know what I mean? It's a 4-hour movie. It's like our Endgame. So it's just making it longer and longer because they thought longer and longer is better.
I also feel like that's what Matt Reeves did with the Batman because he's like, I'm going to make this movie as long as possible because I don't know if we're going to make another one.
That shit was long for no reason, bro.
I agree on that.
I enjoyed it, but I agree.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the movie too, but I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep like in the third time we went to the fucking same club. I was like, all right,
we still here. We came back.
We went to the club like 3 times straight.
Nothing changed, bro.
But I respect Matt Reeves for actually making that feel like a comic book. movie.
Yeah.
You know, like like if DC was to make a comic book movie, I felt like that's how it's gonna be, because there was a sense of realism to it, but it had a lot of comic book themes still, and that's what I respected out of the movie. But like you said, it was too long, and I remember I was so hyped. I saw a midnight showing. I was like, I took a Red Bull just to prepare myself. I'm gonna fucking finish this movie, and there were parts where I was like, they could have cut that out, you know. But at the end of the day, I thought it was a very good Batman movie. I think Robert Pattinson still needs to grow a little on me. He just seems like this emo Batman. But isn't Batman emo, I guess? So
That's true.
I think there's a lot of potential in that. So I'm actually curious to see if James Gunn, would they talk about their roadmap, because I think you're talking about it this month, right?
Yeah.
I want to see if he's going to say anything about maybe doing something with that series, because I'm not sure.
You're talking about the Batman series, the Matt Reeves one?
Yeah, because they were open about saying it's not going to be in the universe, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, why let that run around and have another universe? It's just confusing.
I read that they're going to try to make that the center of the new DC universe. They're going to scrap everything and they're going to build the world around there. What do you guys think of that?
Like around what? The Batman?
Around Batman, yeah.
So the DCU would transpire around like the Matt Reeves Batman universe.
I like to see that.
That could
I
work,
think-
honestly.
Yeah, but I think James Gunn already debunked that.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's why he
Damn.
debunked it, but like we don't know what happened with these talks lately. Maybe you know what? Let's make this work.
That's true.
So I want to see what happens but I'm not holding my breath on it. Because he did openly say they're going to start with Superman, and it's going to be like his first couple years in. So just want to see how that goes. I hope they're not saying it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. I remember those rumors are coming out. I was like, man, I like Michael B. Jordan, but Superman.
Well,
like,
he did mention they're gonna have like the Elseworld world stuff, like the what ifs. So they're talking about like that Michael B. Jordan Superman movie still coming out, but it's gonna be like its own thing. It's the multiverse,
Like Spider-Verse kind of thing.
Yeah,
but I think them doing all that is going to be way too confusing for people just getting into DC. Because it works for Marvel right now because they already have that continuity going on.
Yeah.
But for them to do that from the get-go from DC, I think that's what's fucking them up. They're trying to like put too much shit together, and everyone's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore.
we're gonna have two Joker movies before we have Superman
it's
movie.
confusing.
Yeah, like it's mind-boggling to me, like,
But
because more confusion because like that Joker is not related to the Patterson Batman. It's not gonna have its own Batman probably because it's eventually gonna happen. Joker 3 is gonna happen. And I hate that that's happening. I hate that Joker has a fucking trilogy.
How do you feel about it being a musical, man?
That's weird. When it came out as a musical.
That thing is like, that'd be high art just to be high art. Just say
You guys,
right.
they're shooting for the stars, announcing that it was going to be a musical, man. Like that definitely puts like a preconceived perspective going into it. Like, this shit better be good.
But you know why Marvel
Todd
shit
feel?
works so well, right? Because Disney gave Marvel money and said, "Here, have your own studios, do whatever the fuck you want."
Yeah,
that's not going on with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is saying, "You guys do this, we want it like this." Yeah. And that's why they got DC by the balls, and I think there could be some good with James Gunn. I just hope he doesn't try to make it seem like too much Guardians of the Galaxy kind of a universe. Because
are they scrapping Peacemaker too?
No.
Okay, they can keep that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel like that's James Gunn's baby. Like that's
that has the biggest potential, honestly, because I love that show.
Yeah, what are
that movie? What's it called? Was good too.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide
number
Squad.
2.
Yeah.
I felt like that's how a
way
Suicide
better.
Squad should have been, not that weird David Ayers fucking Joker love story in there. What the fuck is?
You mean the Harley Quinn prequel?
Too.
Yeah.
But I do like Will Smith though. I wish he would have came back for that role.
Yeah,
same. That would have been good.
Yeah,
that would have been good to see him back in that type of film too, because that was actually a comic book film. Like, you have Starro as the villain, as the main villain, which is crazy. Like I think people are getting like tired of the realism of like what they try to do, like the Nolan. Everybody's trying to be like Christopher Nolan now. Trying to make things grounded, and nobody wants to watch that. It's comic books. You want to watch weird shit.
Yeah.
And I think James Gunn, he knows that. So, but he also knows that it has to be like its own thing too. Not everything has to be the same. Not everything has to be Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he understands that.
Yeah.
So I like to see what he has planned. Like I would love to see like a straight Superman film that's just about Superman and his growth as the character, instead of having him die in the second appearance of the universe. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. Like I said about Stan Lee passing, and there's no consultant about it. I felt like Marvel had that with that Disney deal. So if they were pressured by Disney to be like, nah, Infinity War has to be one movie, they're like, nah, we can't do that in one movie. We're not gonna do that in one movie, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because that's how the story is. I'm not gonna I'd rather make a great movie that tells the story instead of just shoving everything and making like a Justice League movie. But with Justice League, because they don't have like a James Gunn right now who is close to the source material that could be like, nah, we're not gonna do that, man. You want me to bring in Superman, Flash, and all that one movie? Like, nah, we ain't gonna do that.
You know what?
Hopefully they have that now.
No, that's why I think that's where Warner Bros. Fucked up. I think they just should have just let Zack Snyder finish his version of Justice League. That shit would have came out and that shit would have bombed, like Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people would, and that would have been over with. And I'm like, all right, let's go another direction.
All right, that was terrible. Let's move on.
But if I'm James Gunn, it's not all bad. I would address all these like multi movies, like bunch of Batmans, and just bring it all into Flash and erase everything. Like he has the perfect movie that's already coming out to reset and make it make sense. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
And he has the humor to be like, yeah, that was crazy. All right, now let's start over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No,
James Gunn, man. Saw you, baby.
We got faith.
Yeah. You guys, we spoke about Black Panther. Black Panther. You guys see Avatar 2?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen part one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't
You haven't seen part one?
Oh,
No.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Never seen part one either.
I've
Shit.
never had any interest in Avatar.
Okay.
Really?
But you guys saw Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
Nah,
Man.
I think Ernie's the only one that didn't watch it.
I haven't
yeah.
watched it either, man.
It's coming out on Disney Plus though.
That's what I'm waiting on, to be honest.
Namor. What do
Oh.
you guys think of his on-screen appearance? He was originally slated to show up initially in Doctor Strange as one of the Illuminati members, right?
Oh yeah,
But I guess they scrapped that and they went with what they went with. But I kind of like how they depicted him. Yeah, you could compare it to Aquaman, but he kind of has his own identity. He kind of differentiates himself for Aquaman on screen. What'd you guys think of him? You guys know the comic world more than we do. How was he compared to the source, Namor? And yeah, what are your overall thoughts on that?
Well, he was actually Hispanic. Because in the comics he was white. So that was cool. He actually I liked his arc, but for those who've seen it, like I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. So I understand him. And I was like, is he really the bad guy? You know, just looking at what he's trying to do, I was like, he's like that anti-hero, that Black Adam that, you know, The Rock wishes was just as cool, you know. But I thought it was cool that they I'm not really familiar with him too much in the comics, but I just liked how they try to keep it like very indigenous.
Yeah.
To give it that arc, because you saw a different world, because you saw Wakanda and what it was and under the skies, and now you go underwater and you see their world. And I thought that was really cool to see. Like, they didn't just throw this villain in like Zack Snyder would probably do and have no arc, you know. And then you watch this movie,
Shows
like
up in the final battle.
They had enough time to give him a story arc for you to understand his story, and I appreciated that about that movie. And you know, I liked him as a character. I don't really see him as a villain.
Yeah, that's one thing like I loved about the movie, that they added so much to his whole, like his character, his background, his origin. Because in the comics, it's pretty much just Aquaman, but with black hair,
winged feet,
you know? And winged feet. You know what I mean? So now they added more stuff later on in the years, like him being the first mutant in the Marvel universe or whatnot.
Right.
So they added more to his character, with like making him like part of the Aztec culture and the mythology behind all that stuff, and called in the underground. The underground. I was gonna underwater city. I was gonna call it Takao. Shout out to Method Man, but
Atlantis.
Exactly right. Takao.
But yeah, that whole world itself and having the vibrating connection to Wakanda, that was like so dope. And like he said, like he was, I think like the way that Killmonger had great ideas in the first movie, I think Namor also had the same ideas, but he was better. He handled it better, and what he was trying to do better than Killmonger was trying to do. Like Namor was more tactical in his ways,
right?
I believe in, and which was dope too, because once Namor said he was going to do something, he's going to do it.
Yeah, and I like that at the the character development where he didn't let his emotions overpower like the decision for the long run, and that's kind of like what you said. What happened with Killmonger? His emotions got the best of him. That's what ultimately led to what happened to him. Everyone knows he dies.
Yeah,
but Namor, the fact at the end, you see that development where he's just like, "Fuck, I can't. I got to do something." And obviously, for those who haven't seen, I don't want to say too much, but you kind of see that change in his character a little bit, but still with the idea of he has a plan still.
Yeah. It's like methodical. It's not just he's not just reacting. But I didn't like how they I thought it was cool that they made him the first mutant, but I didn't like how it was delivered, right? What did you think about it, Elmer? Like they were just talking, right? And he's like, "All right, I'm a mutant." He's like, "Wait, what?" Pause, man.
I think that's just like the MCU giving us something like for like, oh, the X-Men are coming. Like, it's getting there, guys. So, like they did with Miss Marvel at the end of that show, like, oh, you're like a mutant. Like now Namor saying he's a mutant. So I think they're just getting us comfortable with the word being in an MCU before like, all right, here's the X-Men finally.
Right.
And, there's a lot of rumors coming up that even like the Thunderbolts movie that's coming out, it's going to be connected. There's going to be a connection to the mutants in that movie. So that should be dope. Freddie, like, what was it? Like the Celestial from the Eternals?
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to have adamantium deposits inside.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like the main goal of the Thunderbolts in the movie, to get those deposits.
Yeah.
Because that's why I think this Elaine popped up in Black Panther 2 just to set that up. Julia Dreyfus, because the U.S. government wants their
resources,
their vibranium, their own vibranium. So I could see that connecting to the Eternals. That'd be dope for them to introduce like the mutants or Wolverine getting his adamantium claws.
Yeah, they're also gonna call that what's it called Genosha, right? That's what I heard.
Oh yeah.
So that's a huge introduction of like what could come, like House of X type stuff. Man, that's what I think about.
Because there's like a lot of cool theories out there too, but like with Marvel, like like I said, like we said earlier, with the theories, like then you watch the stuff.
It's the best part, right? Yeah. To be honest, think about all the theories, what's gonna come. It's probably better than actually what they put out.
Because like they're saying that Celestial popping up from the water in Eternals, that opens up the reveal of the Savage Land. To the MCU, and you're hearing all this type of crazy shit now. So you're like, oh man, I
so excited.
You got the visions of the Thunderbolts fighting dinosaurs in the Savage Land or some shit like that, and it's never gonna happen because this is what we do. We hype ourselves up to this point, and it doesn't turn out. Then we get mad at them for not doing it.
It's Mephisto all over again.
Pretty much.
Yo, I heard they casted a Mephisto. Actually, Sarah Baron Cohen.
Oh yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I heard that's the rumor.
I remember reading that, bro. I do remember reading something like that.
Yeah, I heard that. Like, there's a rumor about that. I don't know if it's legit or not, but that'll be interesting.
It could have been funny. It could have been interesting, bro.
Yeah.
Like I could see him popping up in the Attica. What's her name?
Agatha, the witch, right?
The witch series that's coming out. I could see him popping up in there in some form.
Yeah, just to wrap up the Black Panther stuff, Namor was he's one of the pillars of the Marvel characters, right? He's one of the OGs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's
one of the first.
yeah.
Yeah, so
He's-
like I was saying, because I like we spoke, I got into it with Spider-Man, X-Men, but it's cool that the MCU did its thing. You know, they had trouble acquiring Spider-Man, had trouble acquiring X-Men, so they built with the foundations. You know what I mean? They built up Iron Man, built up Captain America, and kind of putting respect on the OGs for the people that really weren't introduced to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, seeing Namor finally, I feel like is a cool thing because for the people that get introduced to comics from the movies, there's a deep history and library of Namor material to look out for. So, I thought it was pretty cool that they finally introduced him. And yeah, and I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to spoil it for these two. But would you guys rate it out of 5? Do you guys think the first one was better than the second one?
I think I enjoyed this one more because of Namor. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like the acting overall, the acting in this movie was phenomenal. Like everybody put everything in their roles, even like the side characters. Everybody was doing their thing. I think the Valerie stuff with Agent Ross could have been cut out. I don't think that really brought anything to it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and like also, I'll give it a 4, but I would have gave it a 5. But it's just like I can watch that movie more than like a couple times because it's so emotionally draining.
For sure.
Watching it like the first 20 minutes, you're like, damn, it's just such a bummer. And before like it starts to pick up, and it's like, then I watched it twice in theaters, and both times I was just like, man, like this is a dope movie, but I can't watch it I can't have it in the background if it plays on FX or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of hard to get hyped.
Which I fucking watched 6 times with my Bible study group.
Oh, wow. Gee.
It was kind of hard to get like hyped for the movie in the beginning because remember it was like that moment of silence and they were doing the Marvel flip intro and it was all just Chadwick Boseman and it was just quiet and you're just like, man, this sucks. He's gone, you know. And then you have to sit there and try and get into the movie.
Yeah.
But the movie was cool. I think I'd give it a 4. One thing I didn't like was Ironheart's suit. You know,
me neither.
I was like, man, it looks like fucking a Pokemon.
Yeah,
It looked like Power Rangers, kind of.
Yeah, but it didn't look like what they were like those leaked concept photos look like, and I was hyped for it. I was like, fuck yeah, it's gonna be dope. But it came out, it looked like she literally built it like a toy, you know. And I was like, oh, that was kind of whack.
I was
Yeah,
kind of glad.
that's what it
I was
looked
kind
like,
of glad they didn't let her take it with her. They
Yeah.
made her keep it in Wakanda instead of. So that way she could build her own suit. Hopefully, it'll be a better suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I heard based on the crowd reaction, they had to kind of rewrite the trajectory of her character. And I heard based on that reaction from the crowd of them not really, I guess, being too amped and thrilled about Riri's character, they decided to cut a deal with Robert Downey Jr. And I heard that he was signed on for Secret Wars again, which, dude, we spoke about Secret Wars, which you guys know a lot about. It blew our fucking mind when we were talking about it. But like we said, like to save Marvel from the backlash of straying away from the source material, they compensate with the star power, and they are putting all the money into fucking Secret Wars. I heard Hugh Jackman. Well, obviously Hugh Jackman's in Deadpool.
Yeah,
And so it's not far fetched to assume he's going to be in Secret Wars.
The original
Tobey
Jean Grey,
Maguire.
right?
Oh, really?
Thank you,
Oh.
James.
Yeah.
they might as well have like the OGs in there. Like if they're gonna do like a whole multiverse, like big ass movie like Secret Wars, just go get crazy with it.
Yeah.
The last two headlines I saw was Tobey Maguire was going to show up on screen with Hugh Jackman, which I already pre-ordered my ticket. I'm just kidding. And they said that don't expect just the old heroes coming in because there's possibility that the old villains will be coming back too.
Yeah.
And everyone in the comments were like, well, Magneto was a big role in he played a big role in Secret Wars. So possibly Magneto. And I heard that might be too soon, but I heard Jeremy Renner was going to come back as Professor X. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn.
We're going for that dark. We're going for that dark humor.
You know, at one point he probably was down to come on a podcast, and he saw this episode like, man, fuck
Oh
that guy.
no!
Too soon. Too soon, Joe.
Like, so how does it
Canceled
feel
on
to be
Twitter right
Hawkeye?
now.
Yeah, but Magneto, does he have a big role in Secret Wars? Like, where does he fit into all this?
In the original Secret Wars, he was brought into the battle world with the heroes, and they're all confused, like, oh, why is Magneto with us? Why isn't he with the villains? And the Beyonder deemed that he was actually a hero, not a villain. So he had to work with the heroes to defeat the villains.
Oh shit!
Oh, at the time too, I think he was the headmaster at the Xavier School.
That was after that.
Oh, it was after that.
That was right after Secret Wars.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It right now, just like how it was, how the Marvel Universe started, you know, they would put cameos and certain hints that you didn't really understand up until you rewatch it years later. And you're like, oh, they're sprinkling tidbits. And like you said with the Dreyfus and the General Ross stuff, it's kind of random, but if it does lead to the beginning of X-Men, then you look back and you're like, oh man, that shit was gold. They sprinkled it in there all along, you know? So I feel like that's going to happen right now with all the Secret Wars stuff, because looking at the lineup coming out, they have Marvel Zombies coming out. They have the X-Men 97 coming out with Magneto being the leader of X-Men, right? So it looks like it looks good. I feel like we're going through a dry season for Marvel, but I think
slowly coming up.
Yeah, they're slowly building up to a haymaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think like COVID messed a lot of things up, like the flow of things, because we didn't get a lot of content like for a while, right?
Right.
For a whole year, I think nothing. So when stuff came out, our expectations were like way up here. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Marvel's gonna come back and it's gonna be crazy. You know, they got X-Men, Fantastic Four now, and you know, we had our hopes up. Mm-hmm. So when the stuff was like mid, you're like, these guys are falling off. But I think now they're seeing what works, because they know what's not working, because you would have seen the finale of She-Hulk. They just break it down for us right there, what didn't work. And why, you know, people are getting tired of the same thing happening in these movies.
Yeah.
So I think Marvel is going to be a bounce back year. I think Ant-Man and Wasp and the Wasp, Quantumania is going to surprise a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I think Jonathan Majors is going to be like a great villain. I know he's going to be a great villain because I've been a fan of his since Lovecraft Country. And so he's going to kill it in his role. Like, he killed it in Loki. So him being this badass villain, that him being a serious version of that character is going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah. I mean, from the moment I saw him in that Loki episode, I was sold, man. And Ant-Man was one of our talking points, and it looks like Kang's presence is finally going to be felt within the Avengers after this one. They're introducing MODOK too, which looks pretty comic accurate. And I was talking to Cyril about this. It's been cool seeing Marvel. The cool thing about the Disney Plus series is they're going back to the comic accurate looks. Spider-Man's last movie had the blue and red comic accurate. It was the Halloween episode with WandaVision, but they had the comic accurate Vision and Wanda. And then that makes me excited because I feel like we'll finally see the yellow Wolverine when he shows up, you know, even if it's a cameo or like a gag scene, that would be cool to see. But yeah, the fact that they're being so close to the source material, I feel like is cool to see in the Disney Plus series, despite all the blue balling theories, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Jonathan Majors as Kang, MODOK. I heard that, I don't know if this is going to be introduced in Ant-Man, but I heard that they're going with Beyonder being a variant of Kang.
Shit.
I'm not too familiar with the Beyonder. I know he plays a big role, so maybe you guys can educate us on that. And how does that make you guys feel that they're going to make him a variant of Kang?
You want to take this one, Freddie?
Oh yeah. So in the first Secret Wars, the Beyonder was like this being that was like all powerful, basically God. He created Battleworld and like transported everybody there, and like I think Doctor Doom got his powers at close to the end, and everybody had to defeat Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And Beyonder went away. And then in Secret Wars 2, he was like this guy with Jerry curls. It was the same person, but like he decided to have Jerry curls and go to Earth and like interact with people.
Oh yeah, he was trying to live as a human at one point.
Yeah. I forgot how that one ended. It was really bad.
Yeah.
But then in the latest Secret Wars, it turns out that the Beyonders are actually a race of like super powerful beings that actually created all the universes in every reality. And they're like breaking into every universe and killing all the gods, like the Tribunal, Galactus, and stuff like that. And that wasn't even the main threat. Like Doctor Doom was able to kill all of them and take their power and become God Doom.
So that's why he became like the most revered villain, because he took Beyonder's powers, right?
Yeah, twice.
Damn.
So yeah, if they do that in the MCU, if they have like Kang killing like a Beyonder, like Doom did, and just give him the Beyonder powers, I think that works better than just him being another variant of Kang. You know? Yeah. But even though I would love to see God Doom on the big screen, instead of like Kang.
I mean, I'm sure the Marvel execs know that the fans want to see Doom. The fans want to see Doom, and the fans want to see X-Men, man. So
Right.
We've been sprinkling it, and I trust them. I trust how they're going to deliver it.
We want a Doom that's done right, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're tired.
Not like the original.
Yeah, like these bootleg ass Dooms.
Little pretty boy dude.
Yeah. We want the Doom that's a dictator by day and a sorcerer by night. You know what I mean? Like, hey, he's making deals with the devil, Doom. That's what we need to see on a big screen.
We got pre-med Doom.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because they're kind of, I mean, with WandaVision and Agatha coming out, they're building that dark magic realm, and obviously everyone's talking Mephisto, so it feels inevitable. I want to say that Sacha Baron Cohen rumor is true. You know what I mean? Would be a great like role for him to break out of his, of what people kind of box him in as an actor. But like I said, they're leaving breadcrumbs, and the Marvel Zombies coming out. You guys mentioned that Marvel Zombies were really big in the Secret Wars, so I'm excited, man. I just hope I'm alive to see it, because fucking they be playing games, man.
It's gonna be a minute, bro. And it's like, I think Robert Kirkman wrote the first comic of Marvel Zombies, so it was just pretty much. And Hickman did a story in his Fantastic Four run. Jonathan Hickman did a story, our arc, where it was like Reed Richards that founded the universe that the Marvel Zombies existed in, and and in turn they went to his universe and infected everybody, and it was just this whole world full of zombies. That at one point I think they go to space and start eating everybody up there. It makes Galactus a zombie, I think. If I remember correctly. But it's like a lot of weird stuff. So I don't know. I think it's going to be an anime show for Disney Plus, so it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do and what they're going to show. And they're going to show these zombies ripping people apart and eating their brains or something like that.
You know what? Crossover with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Multiverse.
Yeah.
I heard. I mean, I've been reading a bunch of articles, and I read more under Marvel's studio spoilers on Reddit before this podcast. And I heard that, and I read that I think Marvel Zombies might be rated R. And I think Disney is
cool.
Playing around with some of their Marvel movies being rated R. And I know what's his face, guy who plays Daredevil, Matt Murdock.
Charlie Cox.
Yeah. I heard he said, and I don't know if this kind of sparked that, but he said Daredevil was created for a more mature audience. So if they dumb that down and try to Disneyfy it, you can't really tell Daredevil's story the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. Unless you do it more of like a collaborative. He's teaming up with other superheroes and it's a cameo type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it could be a move by Disney trying to normalize a rated R movie because what they could be trying to acquire Deadpool, from Fox. They can't get Spider-Man, but maybe they could get Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can't do a Deadpool movie PG. That's not going to work.
I think they already stated also that Deadpool is going to be rated R.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So not to worry about that, for everybody, because that was going to be a whole big thing. Like, oh, it's going to be PG-13. It's not going to be rated R. Like Deadpool, I think Daredevil. He did an interview recently that he said it's going to be less bloody than the Netflix, and people were worried about that. But they still could do stuff like Kingpin taking a guy's head off with the fucking door of his car. They didn't show anything in that scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just the implication. It's just like it's like what you were thinking in your head he was doing, and like his head just came off through the car door. So
Yeah, I
think Disney will be find ways to get around that stuff, but still keep the same energy that the Netflix series had.
Yeah, just like Falcon and the Winter Soldier when what's called the U.S. agent smashed him with the shield, right? They insinuated it, but they didn't have to show it. I felt like that was Captain America 2 and Falcon and Winter Soldier were two movies that kind of danced around the rated R border in as far as the Disney MCU movies. But yeah, I mean, like the article said that's another element that Disney has in the Marvel. So it's not all the same thing. You know what I mean? They could be like, oh, this one's rated R. So everyone can expect like a more kind of Winter Soldier movie instead of the first Avenger kind of movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should be badass.
I'm excited for that. See what they're going to do with that. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come out and, switch things up. That's what Marvel needs right now, just to take it to the next level, see what they could do. Just don't overdo it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, let's cross over to DC again because I agree with the last conversation we had on the podcast about Batman being mid. But these two right here are like, nah, we're going to be on the next one to defend his name.
Oh, man.
So before we talk about Batman, one poll that we had was if all the movie Batmans got into like a battle royale, who do you think would come out on top? It'd be Christian Bale, what's his face? Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, and what's the other?
Christian
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, yeah. And Robert
Clooney. George Clooney.
Robert
Clooney. Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
And fucking let's put the cartoon Batman in there too.
Adam West. Why not?
Ben Affleck.
Adam West.
Ben Affleck wins.
Affleck is watching everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking everyone up in that room.
Adam West, because he has anti-anything spray.
He just knocks everybody out.
Yeah, imagine simulating that, and at the end, Adam West is standing. What the fuck? Let me watch that replay.
That'd be funny.
Oh man!
But
what was the issue you had with the Batman? like with us criticize not issues, but what you thought we said wrong about the Batman.
I think it's the prep time.
It's always a funny conversation, right? With prep time. I was like,
with prep time. I said before, it's just the fans, man. It's just I understand you have to make it more, because if you really think about it, like I said before, Superman just could come down, it's a wrap,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for the prep time thing is for them, all right, so if Batman has enough time of course we all seen it happen. We seen the Dark Knight Returns and what he did there.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. But eventually Superman was recovered from all that shit that Batman did in the comic, and he was still ready to go. After a while, Superman got fucked up in Dark Knight Returns, but he was getting better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
he didn't die.
And people will be like, "Oh, but that's just Batman." He's pretty much. I think he says it right. That I could have killed you. Like, you know what I mean? So
remember this.
Yeah.
Remember this moment that I bested you. Hell yeah, man! Come on. I feel like it's an equalizer, man, because you're just a regular human. You know what I mean? And then in the DCU, it's like everyone got powers, like crazy powers. It's not like fucking Marvel where, okay, you have a superhero who's just a Falcon. Like, okay, he got a suit, but other dudes, like, that's why everyone hates on Hawkeye, because you're just a regular human fighting with these people. But at least with Batman, like, he has an equalizer of the prep time. So he's just that general, like, who, I got the master plan. You know what I mean? Like, I got the game plan for us to win. I'm not going to Superman for no game plan. I'm going to go to Batman. And it's always Batman. Like, no matter what. Even when Darkseid took over, who do he take as his main general? It was Batman, right? Took Batman for his tactics. So...
Yeah,
he can't kill him.
No, I understand that. Like, you have to give him something. You know what I mean? Because in the world of
give him time. Give him time.
And that's all he needs, bro.
And like, I agree with the Hawkeye and Black Widow stuff, because like that's what, because it's like, all right, these guys are spies, so they know a lot of shit. I think Batman's kind of the same thing, but it's like, all right, he went to all parts of the world and trained and studied this art and did this and that, and all right,
Lazarus Pit shit.
Yeah, like he's experienced. He's a world traveler. He studied all these different martial arts and whatnot, fighting techniques.
He can bench like 1,000 pounds, man. Yeah. Come on, that's right. That's what he said. He could.
So Batman himself is just like, he's like at that line of being like a superhero, you know what I mean? Because he's like, the perfect human. Like,
it's like Black Widow. I feel like.
Right? Wait, man, no.
You can't disrespect Batman and Black Widow. What the fuck?
Come on, guys. Let's be honest.
Perfect lady.
I mean, but like with Black Widow, she trained in the Red Room. She's a perfect assassin. And
Batman would have fucked up Taskmaster. So
yeah, bro.
With prep time.
Like,
the counters to the move.
Like we said in the last podcast too, Batman, most of the fights, Batman's gonna wash like these not super powered humans. You know what I mean? Most of the time. So,
the thing is, he also, like in The Dark Knight Returns, he could have killed Superman if he wanted to. He knows damn well how to kill these motherfuckers, but he won't. And that's the thing. Like, I think that's what also makes him vulnerable too. Because if Superman snaps, then Superman's just gonna kill Batman. But Batman has that no kill thing, and he takes that shit to heart.
I think that's his weakness, to be honest. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But that's why, Batman versus Superman was like, it was pretty surprised to see him kill. But then you see how Zack Snyder wanted to show, like, well, because Robin got killed, so he don't give a fuck anymore. But that pissed you off. It's like, well, how come we didn't see what happened to Robin? Why come all we get this fucking suit?
And why had to be Dick Grayson?
Exactly.
Why you had to kill one of the beloved Robins of all time?
Exactly.
For just shock value.
Robin.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's Jimmy Olsen. I'm just gonna put a bullet in his head like 5 minutes later.
Right away. Right. Yeah. I was like, I remember when I first watched, like, oh, cool, we got Jimmy. Never mind, he's dead.
I'm gonna get a drink real quick. What happened? No, but Sarah and I would always come up with potential fantasy matchups, like one-on-ones, and one of the matchups we made was Batman versus the Punisher. Who would win that one? They're both human, you know what I mean? But like I said, I think the weakness of the not killing thing gives the Punisher an edge over Batman. So
then I also countered with his dad in the alternate universe. His dad versus Punisher. So I'd take his dad because his dad's down to kill
Batman.
And uses guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he got Punisher.
Yeah, I think against Bruce Wayne, the Punisher would win.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like with so.
There you go.
I'm a Batman guy.
Yeah.
Batman, you got to think about it. He's always in the shadows. He's a ninja. He's a detective. He's a spy. He's all the things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like the perfect human. So he's already has prep time. He doesn't need prep time because he already has it. He already knows the knowledge. He would have, he would wash Punisher.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? He would neutralize him. Not killing, neutralize.
No, that's a good.
Yeah. He would have them all tied up and leave them there. It's like, you figure it out.
Gordon will be coming.
But that wouldn't be
shortly.
as satisfying as watching the Punisher rip his head off. That's why people are like, oh, Punisher's going to fuck him up. Well, yeah, he would. But Batman would probably leave him hogtied and leave him there.
I think I agree. I think there is more of a window for Batman to beat Punisher just because of that ninja stealth. Like, you know what I mean? The ninja stealth aspect of being under the radar. But when you compare him to like someone with spider senses or something, that's when it kind of gets unfair. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know if it's like Punisher. I don't think Punisher's the type to play possum to go kill Batman. You know what I mean? But the Joker can, I feel like my number one thing about Batman is let's look at everybody's villain. And then let's look at Batman's villain, who we keep struggling with, man. Like this crazy guy. You know what I mean? if you put Joker against the Wolverine, there wouldn't be a Joker movie or anything. You know what I mean?
Nah, he'll kill him immediately.
So that's my gripe, and that's why I think it does make for an honorable man to have values like that, but I think that's kind of his weakness as far as the not killing thing. You know what I mean?
But I think that writing's intentional because he's a person, like a human being. And so maybe they said, like, if a human was to have a role as a superpower, how would he act? How would he be noble? And maybe that's what they wanted to go with, this guy who's very noble. I don't know. Because anyone with superpowers can come down, like you said, like Superman can come down, kill whoever the fuck he wants. But Batman, I guess they want to say, like, he's a human being. He's noble.
Yeah.
He's emo Captain America with no superpowers.
Pretty much, yeah. Without the super serum.
Yeah, but I don't know. I grew up liking Batman too, and I think Batman washes I slander on Batman, but I don't think he's like at the bottom of the totem pole as far as the superheroes go.
No.
And Cyril mentioned a good point, and we'll get into this one question I want to ask everybody is, if you had to build a team of superheroes, who would you pick as your leader? Batman as your captain wouldn't be a bad general to, have the intel on everybody and have like the mastermind on how to take people. I mean, he's fragile, but let's have like the Hulk or Superman watch him, but let's have Batman
as a bodyguard.
Have him on the Hulk's shoulder.
He just rides on
just like in a baby backpack.
He has a bit of baby Bajorn.
Just calm this guy down.
Hulk feed him tacos.
Oh my god. That Hulk is so dumb.
I don't know what was that about.
I don't know. Yeah.
Situation.
He doesn't switch out anymore. He's just this friendly big green dude now. I don't know, man.
Chill Hulk.
That's one of the things I'm hoping for in the next phase is like, I know Marvel has a hard time getting the rights to the Hulk and to make their own movie. That's why he pops up in She-Hulk all the time, and setting up what's going to be the next stage and his, him having a son now. So maybe we get to see like some friction between his son and the Hulk, because remember in Scar, that planet was Scar, the planet. Sakaar, right? Remember when the Hulk was a Sakaar, he was like the champion, bro. That dude was the best of the best. He was a beast. So his son grew up probably hearing all this shit about his dad, and he comes to He comes to pick
Doing
him up.
yoga.
And it's this dude. Yeah. He's there, like, probably gave him a taco or some shit.
I just think it's crazy. There was a lady who got pregnant by the Hulk.
Oh, man.
And Savage.
How the fuck?
He's a savage. Hulk.
She's getting that Savage D. But yeah, so that's like, I would like to see that movie, and hopefully they'll do something with that storyline soon.
Mhm.
And he has to go back and being like badass Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the? Do you guys know the details on the Hulk's contract with Marvel? Because I also read that they're working towards a World War Hulk storyline, like a World Breaker Hulk. But I don't know what the details, if that can even be a possible situation. You know what I mean? Do you guys know the details of his contract?
I think Universal still owns the rights, but I like stuff like this. I don't understand. Like Universal, you don't like to make money. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, your only franchise that you have going that's making you any money is the Fast and Furious stuff, right?
Yeah, and that's
So just do what Sony did and just work out a deal with Marvel. Have fucking the Hulk have his own movie. Fucking pop in Dom and the family just to have that connection and that to the Universal world on that side of some shit.
Have Dom beat up the Hulk with the Power family.
The power.
that causes him to like lose it and become World Breaker.
You know what I mean? But whatever. Like, I never understand like how hasn't a Hulk movie been made already? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And especially if you do like the World Breaker Hulk or World Hulk. Like, come on. That's $1 billion franchise right there.
Yeah, I feel like they missed out on between Avengers 2 and Ragnarok. That would have been cool to show
Yeah.
the Hulk getting transported there and just, becoming a warrior.
Yeah.
But you guys, another topic I want to bring up was the comics over the movies. What comic book movie for that Marvel has put out has been like the most accurate to the source material? And as far as the characters go, which one? Because I know they kind of transitioned and made it more relatable with some of the characters, but which one has stood the test of, well, not the test of time, but actually stood accurately to the source?
Like, I feel like none of the movies.
They kind of went on their own.
The movies kind of like borrow some themes, but go their own way with it.
Yeah, I think I would say the most accurate one's like the first Captain America movie, because you really, even though like, especially with the Bucky stuff, maybe I see that like, the Winter Soldier and whatnot.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, pretty much. I think like the first two Captain America movies, I think it was like the most comic accurate portrayals. Like, it's like the same thing as in the comics. But
It's like an easy intro.
Yeah. I think like with like Age of Ultron is like completely different in the comics than the movie was, you know what I mean? So stuff like that. Like with the Ragnarok, they had like Planet Hulk stuff in there. So they dissect and put things together from different storylines and do their own thing. And don't get me started with Love and Thunder.
Oh man, I wanted to walk out of that shit, bro. But it was Christian Bale, so I was like, maybe something cool happened in the end credits.
He's gonna be Batman for the Marvel universe.
I enjoyed it, but it was just like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Yeah,
it could have been better.
If you didn't know who Gore was, it wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one thing that's like, yo, you're expecting this epic ass movie, right? With Christian Bale
as Gore,
American Psycho himself as Gore, the God Killer.
Yeah.
But once again, it's a fan's fault for thinking of all these ideas before the movie comes out.
But you think you're not expecting him trying to fuck his hammer, you know what I mean? Like, that whole thing is like, yo, come on, was this really necessary? Like,
yeah, and I don't know, the ultimate, like I said, if you know Gore, that ending where Gore was like, "Okay, go with Thor," with his daughter, and he trusted Thor at the end like a god. Like that's like blasphemous to the name of Gore, man.
Yeah. Gore in the comics, he's like ruthless, bro. He would have been like, he would have killed his own daughter and then rather her than go with Thor. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So yeah, that stuff. Like I said in our podcast, I think it's just because like both of these guys have like Taika Waititi has kids, Chris Hemsworth has kids, and they pretty much made a movie for kids. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool and everything, but you should have used a different villain.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You should have done things a little differently if you wanted to go that route. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So that's like my least faithful comic adaptation.
It is.
And a lot of people that were really close to the comics were really blue-balled and disappointed by Civil War. Did you guys like how that was portrayed?
The movie was good, but it was nothing like the comics.
Yeah. The comics are so long and there's so much material.
Yeah.
Could have been 2 movies, right?
Yeah.
At least.
It could have been its own arc, you know what I mean? To be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely could have fleshed it out a little more than that. Like and especially to add more heroes at the same time to make it more of an epic thing.
Yeah.
Like this should have happened right before Infinity War and Endgame, you know what I mean? Like you have the Avengers at the lowest point, then you start off Infinity War. And that would have been more, more impactful, I think. But I enjoyed Civil War the movie because the introduction of Black Panther, Spider-Man, it was good times. But yeah, the comic series was way more epic than the movie.
Yeah, for sure. And
it's on the TV news, about when Cap died. The fact that like even Comedy Central was like posting about it and like doing things. That's just the magnitude of like that actual arc, and the fact that they only put into like one movie is kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird because like at the end of the day, they eventually revealed Spider-Man's identity later on. You know what I mean? So they do try to catch up and stitch in the source material into the cinematic universe. But man, I think we spoke about this on the last one. That could have been a rated R movie, right? That first opening scene in Civil War in the comics, that would have got me on the edge of the seat like right away if they put that in the screen, man.
They blew up a whole bunch of kids. Like, this movie's about to be real right now. Oh yeah, that would have been a great intro. But like you said, they didn't have enough characters for all that. You know what I mean? You would have had to introduce the new Warriors and
or the fight with Nitro and Wolverine. That would have been sick.
Oh yeah,
where he just like completely incinerates Wolverine, and you just see his skeleton and like he heals completely back to normal.
Damn, yeah, that was a sick scene.
But they can't throw that out there. Wait for it. You know what I mean?
When he healed,
let Deadpool do that.
Yeah. You're about to traumatize little poor Timmy and shit.
Wolverine's dick grew back.
It would have been like in the Watchmen movie when Dr. Manhattan comes back to life.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, damn, I'm watching 3D.
I was like, I'm enjoying this movie. Whoa, shit, that's his dick.
Oh, fuck, it grew back smaller.
It's like Deadpool when his legs grew back. Man, Deadpool though, it just got announced that it's called Deadpool and Wolverine. So it seems like Wolverine has a bigger part in it than initially agreed. Which is pretty cool and interesting.
Hell yeah!
That they're trying to get everybody in the seats, man. Everybody. This is why
they're coming.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm there.
Yeah.
The latest rumor I heard is that Famke Janssen, the lady who played Jean Grey in the original X-Men movies, is going to be in Deadpool and in Secret Wars.
Oh, shit.
That's what I heard.
Shit.
Yeah, that's going to be dope. Like,
so when is Secret Wars supposed to come out?
Yeah, let me pull out that lineup.
I think it's going to be like 2026 or something.
Yeah.
Like
okay, so we're still far off.
Yeah, we're far off.
Yeah,
they're probably going to push shit back,
Yeah, I think this phase right now is going to be like getting shit rolling towards that.
Yeah.
Right now.
Gotcha.
So I think that's what I'm saying. Ant-Man and the Wasp is gonna be some wild shit, right?
That's gonna be a great movie.
It's a big moment.
Yeah, it's gonna set the fire on the wick. I feel like because we have a Kang Dynasty before we even have
Oh yeah, that's right.
Secret Wars, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So did this Kang Dynasty happen before Secret Wars in the comics, or is that like they're just kind of one of those MCU things? They're just making shit up.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Omar.
Omar.
No, I think it was a storyline in Avengers or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's an Avengers thing, separate from Secret Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was after Secret Wars too.
Yeah, I think so.
So what I had read was the new Captain America 4 was going to introduce the Red Hulk, and they're going to. It was that storyline about adamantium, which is interesting that you mentioned. So I feel like it brought more weight to that, and it said that Captain America, which was Sam Wilson, he was going to assemble the new Avengers, which I feel like Disney Plus have been sprinkling them around. Like you got the Kamala Harris. It's Kamala Harris, right? Miss Marvel. I don't know if they'll use She-Hulk, but I mean, it's a waste to throw that out there and not use her in a movie.
Yeah.
And all those new characters that they've been setting up. So they were going to come together for Captain America 4, and then that Avenger team was going to go battle out with all the Kang variants in Kang Dynasty. And then from what I read, after that, Secret Wars was going to be from a perspective of the heroes from the other universe while that shit was going on in Kang Dynasty. So it looks like they're setting it up. It looks cool. Can't wait. Like I said, it's a long time from now, 26.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be a different time by that time that movie comes out.
For real, man. Right. It might even be in the fucking metaverse.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
All stuck in the Matrix.
Be digital boys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be badass. And we got what's called Guardians of the Galaxy coming out too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna introduce what's his face. We'll finally bring him out. Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock.
Perfectly casted, I think, too.
Yeah, me too.
Man, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna see like what's this gonna open up. This probably gonna introduce us to a new Guardians team that's gonna be probably its own thing further down in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just seeing like how James Gunn wraps this up is gonna be great to see.
Yeah.
Is this his last movie, or did they cast it on someone else?
Yeah, Batista's final movie too as Drax.
Yeah, because like I think this is the last thing he's gonna do for Marvel before he goes to DC, because he starts DC officially like in June or something like that.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So
what's he doing for DC?
James.
Oh, you're talking about James? I thought you were talking about Batista.
Oh no!
I was about to say traitor.
But I think Batista's like. Yeah,
he wants to do more serious stuff now.
Yeah, he came out swinging in that variety.
He said, I'm trying to be a good actor. You know,
I'm not trying to be
The Rock. You played a dumbass in The Glass Onion, so I don't know where you're acting.
I mean, he like with I think Blade Runner 2049, and I think he's coming out with a Knock at the Cabin.
That one looks good.
Yeah, he looks good in that. So I could see him trying to go like more like Dune, shit like that. He's trying to. I think Drax to him, like Drax was the silly thing.
He wants to play Bane too. He said. I think he's trying to go.
I can see him as Bane.
Yeah, that'd be good, bro.
Yeah.
So obviously James Gunn's there, so there's that connection. So.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah. Him and Dune was whatever to me though.
Huh?
Him and Dune.
Oh yeah. But I just think he said that to be typecast as the same, because
he for sure is. That's my opinion.
What, Dave Bautista?
Yeah, he's Drax. Like I feel like
you can see Drax.
It's hard because like Marvel and Disney is like mainstream. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are more exposed to that than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So he's Drax to a lot of more people than he is.
Yeah,
Batista, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why he's glad that it's over.
Yeah.
I get it.
Tired of that green makeup.
Yeah, but I'm just like, all right, guys, don't forget what got you here, right?
Which again, shout out to Vin Diesel's agent for making him CGI and just having those three. It doesn't really fuck with that image. A lot of people really don't know that that's Vin Diesel. You know what I mean? How much?
54 mil
per line, or what? Or for the movie?
Just for his
role as Groot.
For his role, for his voices.
Damn.
You could probably just AI that shit now. You know what I mean? They don't even really need him.
You can auto-tune anybody to sound like him.
Yeah. They probably go that route after this one.
You know what's funny? I actually got texted this hotline where you text any message you want to this number and it responds back as I am Groot.
It's like
pretty therapeutical, man.
That you get me. Oh man, that's crazy.
Can you imagine they paid him $54 million to sit in a booth and just say different ways to say I am Groot?
They did. You never seen the behind the scenes stuff?
Exactly. It's like they paid him $54 million to do this.
I'll do it, bro.
Yeah, I was like, if they were like, "Hey, you want to do it for $10 million?" I would be like, "Fuck yeah, I'll do it for $10 million."
Yeah. Did you know that James Gunn sent them a script that he had dialogue? So every time he says "I am Groot," like that's him interpreting that dialogue that James Gunn had in the script for him. Even though, the way of saying "I am Groot."
Different feelings of
Groot. Yeah.
Hey, as Vin Diesel, would you read that, or would you just record a bunch and be like, "Here you go"?
Yeah.
I'm busy, man.
Hey Vin, can you do your line again, bro? Can you add more sadness?
Yeah. You need to feel sad in this one because you are sad, and
Man, one of the best contracts in cinematic history, I feel like.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Even fucking even Fast and the Furious, it was like the 20th one coming out now, or what?
Yo, that franchise,
it's ridiculous, but I'm still watching.
Nah, I stopped after 6, man.
I can't. It's too outlandish, bro.
Yeah. I remember I got into an argument with somebody at my job because he was like, "Oh, you like those superhero movies?" And I'm like, "Yo, but you love Fast and Furious. I'm just a superhero movie."
Yeah. Not much.
How did they become street racers to fucking fighting crime and international shit? Like,
yo, Vin Diesel and Jason Statham drove head first into each other, and they came out the cars and fucked each other up. Like, you should be dead, my guy. That's some superhero shit.
The streets always wins. I was like, shut up, bro.
Vin Diesel used the car as a landing point, bro. Jumping off. It was like he was just.
Or when he rescued Letty. When he rescued Letty in the highway.
Like, bro, what do you mean, dog?
He's Superman.
The impact alone would have crushed both of your bodies would have been gone, like jelly. It would have been like
he just drives on impact. Like, what the fuck?
Because he's Groot.
What movie are they on right now? As far as Fast,
it's gonna be the final one.
I think 10, right?
10. No, it'll be 11. 11's will be the final.
Oh yeah, 11's the final. They're making a 2-part. Like, they think they're the Avengers.
Yeah.
11.
They're gonna bring everyone back, bro.
If they left at 10, it would have been a good ending. But 11 leaves room for 12, 13, 14.
I think that's why Vin Diesel did it. It's like, hey, do 11.
They're gonna bring Paul Walker back.
In case I need to make, like, Tyrese crying about he don't got no more money.
Yeah. It's Tyrese. Tyrese.
You see those videos? That video is funny. He's like, "You fucking with my family." It's like, bro, where's your money then? You made how much money?
Vin Diesel.
This motherfucker had a Starbucks in his mansion. That's why he doing stupid shit with his money. Tyrese. I seen his cribs. Yo, my man really got mad of Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this guy is really, and he's crying on Instagram about.
Yeah, that was.
I'm like, don't worry,
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw was actually not too bad.
I thought it was. I think I accepted it. Like, this is pretty much a superhero film. Like, none of this shit is.
I mean, he said he was the Black Superman in the trailer, so I'm like, but I think that movie didn't really make as much as the Fast movies, though.
Nah,
that's one thing. Like, I was like, it's crazy to me. Like, Black Adam was his highest grossing movie as a lead, and I'm like, wow, like $64 million, I think it was opening weekend, and that's like, and you would think The Rock would have had like 100 million openings all this time, right?
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah. But nah, man. Nah. He thought he had that star power, bro.
He's not that guy.
He's not that guy.
It could be one of those things too, where like you've been on a streak, so like you don't hit them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that was
also-
kind of the thing with Marvel, right? Like they were so immaculate with their movies. It's like, man, are these guys like eventually
They got
there's
him at some
imperfection in
point.
everything, right?
But no, also that Black Adam movie came out too late, especially when people just shitting on DC and no one gives a fuck about their movies, you know? So no one's like, I'm not going to watch that. So that movie came out way too long. 2008, he was, like you said, Shazam.
He was slated
ever
for
since-
a long time.
And
So
he
in
was just,
2022, you come out with the
he-
movie.
yeah, and then he was been hyping it up ever since. And he hyped it up. It's like, all right, it's here. Oh, damn.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't
The best
matter.
part is Superman's coming, you know?
It's Superman. That's
the
the
only
thing.
hype part of the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was gonna say this early on. When I was hearing that, like the best part about it was the end credit with the Superman. I get that that's a big thing, but it doesn't really sound good. Then you know what I mean?
I like Viola Davis, though, by the way, as fucking Amanda
Yeah, she's
Waller. I
good.
think she's a
Yeah.
perfect casting.
They
So
need to keep her.
I want to give her flowers and say I hope she
Yeah.
stays.
Yeah.
I thought it was an enjoyable movie, but it wasn't like great. But it was just something, you know.
Yeah.
It's in the background. That's cool.
It's
No, but
entertaining.
but that's the thing. Like for him to hype up this movie and for him to do all the shady stuff he did promoting this movie, like it's bad that he hasn't promoted this movie when it dropped on HBO Max. You know what I mean? So that's that's kind of weird for The Rock not to do because he was promoting it when it was like #1 in that iTunes when it came out on digital. So him not hyping up for HBO Max shows that he's kind of tight right now. And it's just like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like,
James Gunn hurt his feelings.
Was
About to go on
it
a
Black
pissing
Adam
contest.
that James Gunn said, "Oh, we'll probably bring him back in like a multiverse storyline type thing"?
but the thing is, like, but like the character you're known to be the arch nemesis for, you want nothing to do with. Like that was the thing that really turned a lot of people off from The Rock and Black Adam, also because how you're not going to mention Shazam at all? Like you'll say the word Shazam, and like the casual audience members will be like, but isn't that's what the other guy says too? And he has the same costume, but in black, and like you're just causing more confusion that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's also because The Rock, he openly said he doesn't want to fight Shazam. He wants to be Superman, but everyone's like, why?
Yeah.
It's a Shazam versus Black.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been.
Yeah, like I don't know
know?
where you got this from, man. Like the
Yeah.
lies, bro. The lies this man keeps on telling.
Well, they touched basis on the Shazam power source in the movie a little bit, but it was only very slightly, you know.
But like because you see Shazam, and Shazam mentions Black Adam and mentions what like he released all those demons into the world, and the wizards had he's part of the mythology of Shazam.
Yeah,
And for you to be like, I don't want to deal with this character because I want Superman. It's like, come on, dude. Like,
who do you think you are? Type shit.
yeah, it's certain a lot of people that were fans and would have gone to see the movie and be like, nah, I don't want to see this shit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the diehard comic book fans don't get fooled by the big marquee names because, I mean, as far as I go, as far as for me, like I have my casting in my head as far as who can portray that character in my head too. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Billy Zane.
So I feel like the comic book fans would rather have a lesser named actor or actress portray the role more accurately than a big name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to throw in there for like a star power type of effect.
Give these young people a chance.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really wasn't hyped about The Rock being Black. I was just like, cool, we got a Black Adam movie, but I was also like, man, it's a fucking Rock, man. I don't know, because he's not that great of an actor. Let's be honest. And he's corny. He plays the same fucking roles all the time. He's always the same character.
Yeah.
He just got a thunderbolt on his chest this time.
And
The Rock has his plate full, man, to like lock down The Rock for like a comic book, you know what I mean, long-term storyline. Like, I mean, look at the people who did the MCU. They all had to kind of commit, and it was years later until you saw him in other movies, you know what I mean? But it takes years and time to be involved in these projects. And for The Rock, who's, they're talking about him going back to WrestleMania to win the Royal Rumble, all this stuff. Like, I feel like
doing too much.
Yeah, I think he bit off more than he can chew, committing to a big project like the DC universe or anything like that. With a big fan base where you're gonna have to commit long term.
Yeah, and he got the XFL coming out too. Don't forget about that.
Yep.
So,
For real?
Yeah, we're about to see that shit fail for the third time right now.
No fucking way.
I like to think he just saw a money opportunity with DC and said, "Fuck it, I'm taking it."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously he wants to be a superhero, and like that's why like you don't even know enough about the character to be like, yo, this is not the type of character you build a franchise around.
Right.
Like, I was like, come on, dude. You could have played a bunch of different other characters. Play like fucking Captain Atom or some shit if you want to be a superhero, Like that anti-hero stuff is getting played out, and they didn't even do it the right way. Like Namor was supposed to, like Black Adam was supposed to be, That's
Exactly.
anti-hero.
Exactly.
But like you're just The Rock and you're just being badass, and we get the super slow motion scene of you killing everybody to Fade in Black, which is so fucking right on the nose. Like, so
as entertaining as it was, you can't help but say it's The Rock.
it's The Rock.
I didn't see the movie, but did we get a people's eyebrow?
Shit.
Maybe.
I think
Actually,
Oh man.
They might have-
throughout the whole
you
movie.
might have put it in when they asked him a question or try to explain something in the modern world to him.
yeah. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
It's a perfect sign to say, "Hey, let's reset the DC universe.
Yeah.
Let's
Like,
stop
this is
going
what-
forward."
I'm gonna go fix my camera, guys. You guys keep going.
The Flash is a good point to reset it. If they're going to do that whole Flashpoint paradox take on it, I hope that's what they do, because they should get rid of Ezra Miller.
Yeah,
I think so too.
yeah. They
I
should
think
just get rid of
I
him.
never liked him as the Flash. Not even talking about his, legal shit going on. I didn't buy it. I thought Ryan Reynolds would have been cool, but he ain't coming back as Green Lantern shit.
Yeah,
But I thought he would have been a great Flash.
yeah. Damn, I didn't even see Ryan Reynolds as a Flash, but yeah, he'll probably be a dope ass Flash. He would have been a better Flash than Ezra. Like you see Ezra Miller, like why are you running like that?
He had a horrible run.
He has a
Yeah,
horrible run. As a
that's him
Flash.
running from the cops. That's why. That's why.
Yeah.
I feel like Grant Gustin would have been a better Flash.
Yeah.
For the
I think
movie.
anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
You could have put
Fuck it.
you could have put anybody in that role, and they would have done a better job than this dude. Like
Yeah.
Fucking Tom Holland.
it's
right.
not
Anyone could be better than. I also would like to see. I mean, did you guys watch the Snyder cut?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I like how we had Martian Manhunter and how they kind of had that. I was like, that's cool. We got him, but we're never gonna see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. Like Zack Snyder was the same way. Like DC told him, like, "Yo, we don't need any new scenes, right? Like, just finish what you have already, and let's keep it moving."
Yeah.
But he wanted to add Martian Manhunter. He wanted to add that fucking nightmare scene at the end for no
I think
fucking
he did
reason.
that just to make a case to continue making his series. Like, say, see, people, they liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Be like, nah, dude. Like, I
was
didn't need to see Jared Leto again as a joke.
Yeah. You gave us 4 hours. I don't even remember how long that movie was.
4 hours.
4 hours,
hours,
of just deleted scenes.
Mhm.
Are you talking about the Snyder cut?
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Man, I was not sold on that, man.
It was a lot better
Everyone
than
was so
the first
amped
one.
about it. I'm like, I stopped watching after fucking Wonder Woman's part in the movie. I was like, man, there's like 3 hours left. I don't know if I can.
Like, why is a 5-minute scene of these women just singing for no reason right now?
Oh yeah.
It's
But
like
it
a lot of
came-
stuff like that. It's like a lot of people, a lot of his fans defend, like, oh, they just let him have his cut, and that's what they said with Batman versus Superman, because the extended cut came on like DVD or whatever, but it was like 3 hours long. I'm like, yeah, but Warner Brothers is not going to put out a 3-hour movie in the theater. It's like, well, now they do, but a 4-hour movie in the theater, like nobody's going to go watch that shit. Like,
No, yeah.
nobody's going to sit in the theater for 4 hours. Like, I'm sorry, but the Batman, I was just like, yo, this is like, come on, dude. Like,
That was
Yeah.
pushing it.
yeah, that was, you felt it, and for you to do that, like for Batman versus Superman, the scenes you add in are not really that special anyway. Like, yeah, they add more to the story, but okay. Like,
yeah, it's just more of the same. You kind of gave us a little more background, but it doesn't answer what we wanted to hear, you know. But I think everyone was so also enamored by the Snyder Cuts because it came out during the pandemic. No one had anything else to watch, and I watched it, and I'm not gonna lie, like I liked it better than the first piece of shit Justice League that came out.
oh yeah,
it was
way
a lot better, but it doesn't
yeah.
mean that it was like a fucking 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
Right.
that bar was pretty low. So
Yeah, it wasn't
like,
a lot to clear, but
you
thankfully
just had to skip over it.
yeah. I was just more excited to see more Ben Affleck Batman because he's one of my favorite Batmans. I just don't like what happened to his character just because it got butchered, and we're never gonna see that anymore. So that sucks.
I really disappointed that we're not gonna have Batman with the voice modifier.
Yeah,
because I'm like that what needs to like that should be the Batman voice. I don't need
exactly.
dudes with the growling voice. And,
where's Rachel?
Yeah.
Where are the rabbits?
Yeah.
I will say though, I'm very excited for the DC fans to finally get a good something to be proud of. You know what I mean? Because like you said, they defend it, man. Like, oh, it was still pretty good on the Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? Like for them to finally have like a good one, I'm like, yeah, I thought she was good. I told you.
Yeah.
Like they deserve it, man. They've been defending DC for a while and like making excuses for them, but I can't wait. I feel like it's coming, right?
And Marvel fans have gone through that too with the initial X-Men. Like as a kid, I was like, this is dope. But girl, I was like, wow, I can't believe I like that shit.
Does not hold up.
We had our Ghost Rider, 2 of them.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage.
Those Punisher films, Punisher Miami.
Oh my god.
Daredevil, Affleck's Daredevil.
I think DC's around there right now.
Yeah,
climbing out. They're gonna climb.
They're still
right.
like I said, late 90s, early 2000s shit.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
They still
we forget that like Marvel took some L's before getting to what they are, you know what I mean? But you see, like I said, the cool thing is now they're addressing it, so it's all cohesive, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting for the DC universe to see that the trajectory looks good. James Gunn has his tools, like as far as the Flashpoint movie coming out, to erase all that potentially. Yeah. Excited as a DC fan. Excited for the DC fans.
I would love to see DC like be on like Marvel's level because we can have Superman. Like, I would love to.
You
see
need that too, right?
Superman
you need the
film.
competition.
Yeah. Like Superman could have a great film. Like I would like to see that. I like to see him fighting like Brainiac or somebody like even Toyman or whatever. Like have him fight somebody different. Have a fun Superman film.
What I was gonna say too is, as far as the long movies go, like the 3-4 hours, I feel like it's always a red flag when they put out like reading material before to get introduced to the world. It's like, come on, what are we getting into?
Shit.
Didn't they have that with the Matt Reeves Batman? Like,
I think
he wrote like a book about everything, right?
Yeah, and there was like a Riddler comic too, or something like that. I think that came out. Yeah. I hate that. Like, you have to read this to get like this information from the movie, and I'm like, just show it in the movie, man. Yeah. This shit. What have you shown us in this 3-hour movie? Like, what's going on?
You guys remember when the whole Dark Knight series was coming out and how the whole viral marketing they were doing? You guys remember that stuff where they had you call a number for a pie, and then you go to a pie shop, and then you have to. They give you a pie or whatever, or a cake, and you pull it out. It's a Joker card. It was just kind of like different ways to promote the movie. Like when the Dark Knight was coming out, it was just all these cool. Like I remember one of our hosts for the podcast, actually Zach and I, we would find these like just all over the internet. There'd be like these secret codes, and you'd call this number, and it would be like the Joker's what do you call it? Hostage, and the guy just on the phone you're talking, but it's like obviously pre-recorded. I thought it was really cool how they executed, because they got you involved in a sense to make it feel like that movie was going on in your world.
Yeah, just like they did with the Riddler, right? They made that website with all the clues prior.
Yeah, that's why when they did that, I was like, okay, this might be good, but it was just a little too long.
Yeah, it didn't be that long. Like it shouldn't be that long.
For sure.
That's why I'm kind of hesitant to go watch Avatar because I'm like, damn.
You know what? I will say,
4 hours.
even if you've seen Black Panther 2, because it's pretty much the same movie.
Yeah.
Avatar 2 didn't feel like 3.5 hours. I don't know if it's because it was visually pleasing. Like that's the thing about those long movies. You know, you have to. I feel like one movie that got away with it, but they set it up was the second one. There's Infinity War, and was the other one Endgame?
Yeah.
Endgame had a lot of story. You know what I mean? Infinity War was action packed, right? But what happened at the end of Infinity War made you invested and want to know how the heroes were going to come up with a time machine type of plot to go back. So then you're invested and you're paying attention, and that could kind of make the 3 hour go by fast. And then you have the ultimate battle at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to compensate, I feel like some action scenes would have been good to sprinkle in the Batman movie. You know what I mean? Especially him being like kind of new and have like this anger going, kind of like that opening scene where he was beating the shit out of that guy. Like they should have had more of those where he was, you know, like Gordon or Catwoman was like, "Hey man, stop, like relax a little bit." I feel like that would have shortened the experience instead of making it feel like a drag of a movie. Because Avatar, like, I don't know, man, like the water scenes are pretty crazy, and it was more action than it was story, but it was able to tell the story through the action. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So, what else movie was like? I feel like Captain America 2 was one of the first Marvel movies that was like action packed. You know, it was a different feel in comparison to the Iron Mans and the first Avenger movie. It felt like a ride, right? Like that.
Yeah, it was like more like a thriller type of movie. And it was like more like the hand to hand stuff was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know, it was because most of the time it's like them in their street clothes. They're not really in the suit that much, so you get to see them like have more action scenes that way, and which was like something different we haven't seen in a Marvel movie to that point.
Mm-hmm. One other topic I wanted to bring up was our favorite superhero, Spider-Man, and Spider-Verse is coming out. And man, this looks like this Spider-Man fan's dream, because every Spider-Man looks like they're going to be in this movie, man. Do you guys have a favorite Spider-Man? I mean, I even saw the PlayStation Spider-Man in one of the screenshots in this movie. So they're going crazy with this one.
I'm excited. I know it's just going to be a cameo, and he's probably not going to have a big part in the movie, but the Spectacular Spider-Man from the cartoons.
He
popped up on the poster, so that's pretty dope. That was like my favorite animated version of Spider-Man. So that show was great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see that. Peter B. Parker is always a great Spider-Man. And I really want to see Jake Johnson in a live action Peter Parker one day, hopefully. But
he's a good one.
He's a good one.
Peter B. Parker, is that which Spider-Man is that one?
Oh, that was the one from Into the Spider-Verse.
The original one. The original
one. Yeah.
Okay. Isn't there a version of him where is it the Alex Ross? Is Ben Reilly, right? Is that a Spider-Man as well?
Yeah. He was the
Scarlet Spider.
Scarlet Spider.
Okay.
Yeah, Scarlet Spider. I think he pops up into because they showed him with the hoodie on, so I think he's in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of Spider-Mans in this film, so it's gonna be fun to see all those Easter eggs, and the animation looks sick.
Man,
it looks amazing.
Yeah, like we said, I think Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie that has been put out, right? So the fact that they're bringing everything, and I mean they also have the Madame Web movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So Sony, man, take some notes, Universal.
Like Marvel's like, yeah, go crazy, go crazy, do your thing, keep on making those bombs.
Use every Spider-Man character.
There's a rumor like they're gonna introduce their Spider-Man in that movie, like the new Sony Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they could have like their version of Spider-Man and pop up in Venom or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how true is that, but that'll be interesting. See what they do with that.
I think we talked about it in the last one. Isn't that funny what they did with the symbiote, putting him in the MCU? Then after Spider-Man, they threw him back into Sony universe.
You're not gonna come into this universe.
Give me that symbiote.
Yeah,
for sure.
Make sure you leave a little piece of it before you.
Yeah, they debowed
Just
Venom
enough,
out of Eddie
man.
Brock.
They what?
They debowed Venom out of Eddie Brock. Give me that.
One character I recognize, but I'm not really familiar with, is the main character. It looks like for Spider-Verse, which is Miguel. What's his name?
Miguel O'Hara.
Miguel O'Hara. The Spider-Man 3. Was it 3000?
2099.
2099.
Yeah.
What's his story arc, and how does he fit in all this as far as just the comic book world goes?
He used to work for his corporation, the Alchemax Corporation.
Is that the one where that wasn't what Octavius was working in the first one, right?
Was it? I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was a cool Easter egg there, but he was working there in the future. Found out they were doing some shady stuff. His boss tries to kill him. That whole storyline. He takes a formula they were working, and that's how he gains his spider powers. And since he's half Mexican, half Irish, he uses Dia de Muertos costume he had. That's a Spider-Man costume.
That's why he had the skull then, huh?
Yeah, and he has these claw things coming out of his fingers at times that he just like slash people with. So he's more of an aggressive type Spider-Man than like Peter Parker would be.
This would be badass then, yeah. Because who's the villain that they're showing for this one? The I don't know his name. The Dot. Is the Dot?
The spot.
Right.
Yeah. That's like people are saying that's like a decoy villain. They haven't really like shown.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because like it's really like a silly type of villain. It's just like a guy who throws spots at you. It'll take you to another side of the room or outside or something like that. So it'll be interesting to watch, like fight wise, with him and Spider-Man fighting and him using his powers that way.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting. But I think that's just a decoy till they show who's really behind everything in this movie.
Man, I'm excited for that one. I had recently just purchased Spider-Man No Way Home, and I was watching it again. And how do you guys feel about Tom Holland as Spider-Man? You guys sold on that?
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no issues with him. Like, I think people just had that version of like Tobey's Spider-Man growing up, and it's just like hard. Like, it's like being like the Jordan fans on the LeBron fans. You know what I mean? It's just like they can't see anybody else replacing being the GOAT.
Right.
Like Jordan. Like some people just see Tobey.
Especially if it's like your generation's, what you grew up with or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to let go of that.
I just think he's short.
I think he apologizes too much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They should have done a Tom Cruise on him and just, stack it up so he look taller than he is.
Yeah.
Give some platform shoes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with Tom Holland as Spider. I think he plays the role like really great. But I think they just kind of made him too wimpy a little bit sometimes. Like Jarrell said, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like, come on. Like,
but I think that's why that trilogy was about, like him just growing out of that, because it's like this is real life,
Right.
And, like, real life just smacked him hard in the last one. You know what I mean? His aunt died. He has nobody, no friends, no family. Like he's on his own.
Yeah.
So all that, like he has to be a man now. So that's one thing I loved about his character, because we never saw a young Spider-Man like that in high school. In the films,
that's true.
For sure.
Like he'll be in high school for 5 minutes, and it's like, all right, it'll be like grown man shit already. You never see that evolution, and that's why I like to see like the first 3 Spider-Man MCU films. It's just like a trilogy of his origin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him becoming truly Spider-Man. Him making his own costume at the end, like, which happens to be the most accurate costume we have in the Spider-Man film. So
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Also, that Spider-Man character build-up is, I mean, I can't wait for the Venom arc. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna really break out Tom Holland of that role of like being a younger, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I hope he does it better than Tobey Maguire did in that Venom.
That was terrible. That was Topher Grace.
He'll be out here stunting on these hoes.
At least Tom Hardy's about the same height as fucking Tom Holland. So that'd be cool.
I actually rewatched that Spider-Man 3 like not too long ago. That dancing scene isn't even the cringiest part of that movie. That scene where he went into the bar and he was trying to make Mary Jane jealous.
Yeah.
That would need some fucking recognition as one of the cringiest scenes.
It was. The first two were great, honestly. I thought the first two were great. Maybe it's just my nostalgia clinging onto it, but I didn't think they were too bad. I liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, when I saw 3, I was like, wow, this is the end. We're not going to get another Spider-Man movie.
It's crazy because
in that scene.
You said what?
In the bar. Wasn't he like tap dancing?
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
It's like what?
Yeah, he's going all in, man.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that third movie I feel like set the precedent of all these movies that are coming out that are flopping, of trying to do too much and putting too many villains in one movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
come on, you ruined Venom's on-screen adaptation after building the best Spider-Man so far.
Fucking Sam Raimi, what the fuck did you do?
he didn't want Venom in the movie. Like the story, like he wanted a Vulture in part 4, and the studio was just like, oh, we want Venom. He's like the money maker. The fans want to see him. People gonna go see Venom.
Right.
So he put Venom in there, but he just fucking was bad petty with it. And just
I mean, it showed. It showed. It was like when Christopher Nolan said that the studios wanted him to put Robin in it, and he's like, "You want me to do that? I'm going to cast Frankie Muniz," and they're like, "Never mind."
Man.
Oh man, if you would have lost their shit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm glad he's didn't do that. I'm also glad WB didn't say that's fine.
Yeah.
Great, he's on the phone right now.
He'll be like, "Come on, Malcolm."
Yeah, come on, Malcolm.
What they say?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, getting to that almost a 2-hour mark. We did have one question we want to ask you guys before we signed off, and out of all the superheroes in the superhero universe, let's say they're all in one: DC, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, Marvel. If you had to assemble an Avenger team, 5 heroes, who would you guys pick? Free draft.
5 heroes?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I'll start. You guys can think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go with my boy Spider-Man. So he can be my stealth kind of sensory. Then probably go with let's do this without Superman, guys.
Oh, no, Superman?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do this
All
without
right.
Superman. Let's say Superman is a threat, all right?
Okay.
Superman's a threat. He got Carnage symbiote on him. We gotta fucking
Holy shit.
put a team together to kill this fool.
Oh, wow.
And somehow the Carnage symbiote is ineffective with sound now, so I'm just making shit up.
He's like,
But let's go with Spider-Man. Let's go with Magneto. Captain America. Let's go with the Hulk. And you know what? I'm gonna go with Nightcrawler.
That's a good one.
He's a little X factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Very interesting.
I'll go with let's see. I'll pick Martian Manhunter. We got to deal with Superman, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll take Martian Manhunter. Someone that has a contingency plan for Batman. I'll take Wolverine. Don't know if I want Captain America or Iron Man. I think I'll go Iron Man. How many is that already? 4? I think I got 4 down.
Mm-hmm.
So the 5th one would be... Fuck, that's a tough one. Because anyone could...
Pick Mystique. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go with Green Lantern.
I got my 5.
All right.
All right, so it'll be as the team leader, Batman. And then I'm just gonna go with the rest. Spider-Man, Hulk. I'm gonna say Storm from X-Men, and this is the odd man out, but I'm gonna say Tommy Oliver from Power Rangers.
Okay.
Oh damn.
With the ultimate like morpher, like that he could morph into all 5 of them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm about to ask you right now.
White, Green Ranger. Which
white,
one?
green, red Zeo, and black Dino Thunder.
Okay.
It's badass.
You ready, Elmer?
Yeah, I could go. Green Lantern, I have on there. John Stewart, Green Lantern.
Mhm.
The Sentry from Marvel, because he's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Take on Superman. Spider-Man for his expertise on Carnage. Captain America, just for like his battlefield experience.
Mm-hmm.
And who else?
Gladiator.
Joking out.
Pick me, bitch.
Should I pick another heavy hitter? And
You got to pick one that's going to sell the movie.
it's not a movie.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Wolverine.
Damn.
My fifth one.
That's what's
All right.
up.
So for mine, for the leader, I picked Doctor Doom.
Ooh.
Nice.
The rest is going to be Wolverine, of course. Green Ranger, Tommy Oliver.
Nice.
Spider-Man.
Nice.
And the last one who's going to definitely win this fight, Franklin Richards.
Damn.
Ooh.
Yeah, damn. Slept on.
The powerhouse right there. Pretty much God. You got that.
Yeah, it's a good one. Man, if I had Doom as my captain, I'd just be like, hey, bro, you pick.
That's it.
That's what's up. All right, there you have it, guys. We got Pulling These Podcast, the guys from that show over there on the podcast tonight. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank
man.
You want to
Thanks for
plug in
having
your
us, man.
socials? Let us know what's coming up for you guys, any upcoming projects. Let us know what's up. What do you guys got going?
You can follow us on pretty much everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at PullingThese, at PullingThese Pod on Facebook. Our YouTube channel, PullingThese, we're on there too. The podcast, we try to have a new episode every 2 weeks. Working on some skits right now for 2023. Look out for that on TikTok. So more stuff on YouTube also. So just get into full gear for this new year.
Dope.
yeah.
Can't wait to hear more from that and follow up with you guys. Well, thank you guys again for coming on. We appreciate it. I'm Jermaine. You had Jarrell. You also had Pulling These on the podcast. Thank you guys again for coming on. We hope to have you guys again, and hopefully by that time the DCU does not suck.
Yes.
Yeah, by the time we come back,
Hopefully.
man, we're gonna have praises for these.
Yeah. One of these days, guys, we're going to do it.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll catch you guys again.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
Later, guys. Thanks.
See
All
ya.
right, bro. Have a good night, fellas.